The following is brought to you by the Cyber Time Bite Network. Holy crap!
Because Dave's a crow.
It's true though!
Oh, heck yeah. Justice!
You are now entering the Serpents Pit with Serpents Breakdown. Now, here's Serpents Breakdown and your host, Stephen Clark.
Hey everybody, it's your boy Steve and your boy Rhiannon for episode 23. Wait, 23, right? Yeah,
I think you just said 24.
No, 24. This is episode 24 of In the Serpents Pit with Serpents Breakdown.
Where's that swim?
With, of course, your main event, Serpents Breakdown.
Yes.
Oh boy. We've been doing this. Can you
looking through clothes because outfits.
Now, here's the funny thing. I remember when we started doing this a year ago, we started weekly and then we went monthly.
Because weekly was too much.
It was a little. I didn't think about that. But now that we hit 1 year, we hope that you guys enjoyed all the episodes in the first year, and we can't wait to bring you another whole year and many more. But today, we are talking about something that is going to be very interesting to talk about. We're going to be talking about manga versus the anime. So, like, we're gonna compare the two, what we think. I really don't have any opinions because I don't really read manga that much.
I read a lot of manga. I literally have Actually, I've got an exact number written down of how much manga I have.
You do? You counted?
Yeah, because in one of the communities that I'm in, they're just like, you can get different titles based on how much manga you have, and I'm literally like a few manga behind the other person with the most, and they're just like, fuck, gotta buy more manga because I have 538 manga. They have 2 more manga than me.
You got 584?
38.
538?
Mm-hmm.
Where do you keep all of that?
In my room.
Well, yeah.
You can see how many books I have if you think that's impressive.
I mean, like, I mean, is this organized or you just have them stacked wherever?
Vaguely organized. I have my favorite stuff out front where I can easily get it.
That is nuts. I don't even have that many books. I keep
getting it cheap at library sales.
I don't even have that many books. I mean, I have almost all the Homestuck books. I have my wrestling stuff. I have my regular books. I have all my DVDs and all that stuff. But I don't have that many books. My God. And if anything, I collect comic books, and I have a lot of those.
We've got a lot of comic books. We're trying to sell them, actually. We've got a lot of DC.
Why do you like comics, or do you like manga over comics?
Manga over comics. I do plan on keeping some of them, but most of them we're going to get rid of. Because I only really want the Batman and, like, Joker and Harley Quinn ones.
Mm-hmm.
Overall. And just a few other interesting ones, but that leaves still 15 boxes of comics.
Well, if they're all like superhero comics, you can sell them off to someone else because
they're all superhero comics. Yes, we just don't know how to price them.
I mean, like, I don't want them because I don't read those.
That's boring. What kind of comics do you read if you don't read manga or superhero? You must be for the boring shit.
No, I can tell you exactly what I read.
What do you read?
I read Back to the Future, Ghostbusters, Sonic.
So it's boring shit.
That's not boring crap.
It It is. They were fine as movies. They didn't need to make comics of them too.
No, there's Sonic the Hedgehog, Adventure Time, regular show.
Those were also fine as cartoons. They didn't need comics too.
It spans the story.
I like the story as it was.
I read some original stuff too, like Giant Days, made by Boom
Like what?
Studio. Like Giant Days. It's an original comic story made by Boom Studios who make the Adventure Time comics. And it's really good.
I got my selection of outfits for Deku.
But yeah, I mean, like I read like, I mean, like I have a lot. I mean, I have a big comic book collection. I have 3 whole boxes full of them.
3 whole boxes. I've got like 15 boxes of manga.
What is it, like those white boxes that you just put them in there and they're all lined up?
No,
neatly?
they're actual boxes. Cardboard.
I mean,
We get a lot of packages.
that's crazy. I mean, like I don't know anyone who owns that as much as probably you do.
Well, my competition has 2 more manga than me in the community, so
2
we're
more.
like low-key committing. Actually, they've got a few more now. They just haven't updated the numbers yet. We're like low-key competing over who has more manga for the title of I don't know, Manga Master or whatever the hell. I can't remember what it was.
That's nuts. I never heard of that before. Just people competing. How much more books?
Not actually competing, dude.
Yeah,
You
I
need
know.
to stop taking everything so literally.
Yeah, I know. I'm sorry. Anyway,
Like, oh, I bet I can beat you at this race. No, you can't beat me. Or in this case, you can't have more manga than me. Watch me.
you just go to the library and just buy them out anyway.
I've been getting my manga really cheap from the library sales.
Do you ever go to like an actual bookstore like Barnes and Noble or whatever and get anything?
Occasionally, but I mostly get, well, not really actually. I mostly just get my manga at, well, the actual stuff that I actually buy at Mitsuwa. But that's just the alley,
Wait, you got a Mitsuwa?
obviously.
No, do you want to know a fun fact about that place? I used to live 5 minutes down the road from there.
That's nice.
And supposedly I've been there before, but I don't remember. But
This one would also go with this one. This one works better with those ones.
all right, so I guess
So, on topic.
on topic, let's talk about manga versus the anime. So let's see.
Yay.
Well, wait, I want to start out with some. I want to start with something under the radar more than over the radar first. And what I want to talk about is Kill la Kill first.
I've never read the manga for that.
I'm surely there is one. I'm sure, but
Probably. But we can't talk about it if we've never read it, dude.
no, that's true. Then how about like, do you read Bleach?
Not really. You can only talk about things people have read. Like, one of us has read, dude. Have you read Bleach?
No, but no, I read a
Then
little
stop
bit.
bringing up stuff you haven't read.
No, I read a little bit of Naruto because my brother used to have it.
And did you watch the anime?
Oh, all the time, every Saturday night when I was growing up.
Okay, out of the stuff that you read and what you watched, thoughts?
From what I watched, was amazing. Naruto is probably one of my favorite animes.
We're talking about manga compared to anime here, dude. Focus.
Well, yeah, I know. I mean, if we're
How
talking,
accurate was the anime to the manga?
I think it was equal footing, because
Equal footing?
yeah,
It was
because
accurate?
what's that?
So it was accurate?
It was pretty accurate.
Alright.
I feel. I mean, like I feel it's whatchamacallit. I feel like every manga compared to the anime, I feel like most of them get them right, but some of them don't because what they gotta do half the time is that in the manga they got to introduce characters earlier than they do in the show because they got to make the show last a little longer than the book. Because
That's not always the case. Sometimes they introduce characters sooner in the anime and fuck everything up. For example, in Toilet Bound Hanako-kun, they left out an entire arc in the anime that was in the manga that showed two of the characters bonding because at the beginning they didn't like each other. And so suddenly in the anime they were just more friendly with each other than they were before because they skipped an entire arc.
yeah, because before we did this episode, I did a little bit of research, and supposedly in the My Hero manga, not the
That's
show.
not what I'm talking about right now. I'm talking about Toilet Bound Hanako-kun.
Well, I never seen that or read it, so I mean, like
My point still stands though, is that in the case of that one, they got a lot wrong because they literally skipped an entire arc.
is that supposed to be like the manga version of the Welcome to Demon School Rumicon, or
No,
it sounds the same.
it's not. Toilet Bound Hanako-kun and Welcome to Demon School Iruma-kun are not the same thing. Where would you even get that?
The kun.
They literally
part.
have different names.
No, the kun part. That last part, the kun.
Oh no, they both have coons in them. Lots of animes end with coon when they mention a name.
I mean, like that's what threw me off.
Lots of animes do that because in Japan they end names with kun or san or chan, various other ones.
What but like if we're comparing like the manga with the anime, which anime and manga in your eyes is the most accurate in both ways?
I don't know.
Well, I mean,
Maybe My Hero. My Hero was pretty accurate. I mean, sure, they leave out a few things, but they always leave out a few things.
I mean, like, because like I was saying, I was doing my research before we did this, and I heard and I saw that they had to introduce Toga earlier in the manga than in the anime.
Yeah, they did, I think. And they didn't have to. That's how it was written, dude. It's not a matter of had. It's how it was written. That's just when they were introduced.
I know, but that's because it's the book. In the show,
no, it's not. It's not a difference between writing and watching. That's just how it was written. That's when they decided to introduce the character.
But then if it's like that, then it's really the deciding factor of which one you like better. Do you like reading it or do you like watching it? Do you think this story's better than this story? You know,
they're the well. You see, the thing is that they're supposed to be the same story, since that's the whole point. That's the whole point of animating something. Putting what you just read into moving and talking. Otherwise, it wouldn't be an anime adaptation. It would just be a cartoon.
So do you think them introducing characters earlier in the book, but not doing it the same way in the show? It's just
what I don't like is them not doing it the same way. Like it's like generally when something is written some way, it's for a reason, and you're not supposed to change it because it was like that for a reason. Like for example, don't leave out the foreshadowing because it's there for a purpose. It's there to foreshadow it what will happen next. Or in this case, Toga was introduced here because this would make them is the most the place that makes the most sense to introduce her, and it's because she's important later on.
So you think that the anime should have gone by the book a little bit more, but they just started.
Yes.
Well, I mean, maybe they're just trying to be maybe they're just trying to be different, and it didn't work.
I don't that's not. But you see, the thing is that being the different is not the point of anime. It's to adapt it into an anime, not change it.
Well, I think every anime is
it's
like
one
that.
thing if you get ahead of the manga, like for example, the original photo story, because they actually passed up the manga, and they're just like, shit, we don't have any more material to go off of, we'll make our own material. Those are two different things. It's one because you can't, because that's not how an adaptation works.
I mean, like, I just don't. I mean, I think what am I trying to say? I think every anime is like that. I feel because I don't think there's any anime that really is picture perfect to the book unless they.
Some are, like, pretty much.
Yeah, like there's some that are, but I think a lot of them aren't. You know, like Naruto, Dragon Ball, especially Dragon Ball. Naruto. Trying to think. Sailor Moon probably.
Sailor Moon, definitely not, dude. It's definitely not. Sailor Moon the anime is nothing like the manga, literally. At the end of season 1, they basically killed off the main character, which does not happen in the manga, and then she obviously comes back.
Well, I mean, when it comes to Sailor Moon, at least
Sailor Moon's not accurate at all. None of it's accurate.
But I'm pretty sure there's a lot of people who remember the show way more than the manga.
That's because they didn't read it.
Oh, I mean, when that show came.
Have you read the manga?
Well, no, because I grew up on the show.
There you go. There's your answer.
Well, I mean, I think there's a lot of other people who are the same way, who just grew up on the show and didn't really.
That's their own fault for not reading it.
What are shows? Metabots. I don't know.
I don't even know what that is.
I don't think it's got to have a manga because it's an anime. So I mean,
Lots of animes don't have mangas.
They don't?
Yeah, sometimes they just decide to animate things like, normal cartoons. For example, they made the Adventure Time cartoon, then a comic.
No, the Adventure Time comic was going on even when the show was still running.
Yes, because they started writing it while they were making the show.
And I did.
The show came first.
Well, yeah, the show came first, obviously.
Yes, exactly. Like most like normal cartoons, sometimes the show comes first in anime.
But what do you think of that? Like, when it comes to anime, if they make the show first, then they make the manga.
That's fine. That's how most cartoons work. I mean, they didn't go and make a SpongeBob comic, then go make SpongeBob. That's just how animation works.
Well, because I know to a lot of people, especially us here in the anime convention community, precise anime is key. So I mean,
in the case of the anime coming first, it's a matter of the manga being precise, because it's a manga adaptation.
Is there anything that you've read that you've been like, oh, I wish you'd animate this already?
Plenty of things, but they're not going to happen because they're too obscure.
I didn't know there was such a thing as obscure manga.
There's plenty of obscure manga, dude. The reason it's obscure is because you haven't heard of it. That's like literally how it's obscure. One of my favorite mangas is The Nightmare Inspector. It's an amazing 9-book series, like completely amazing. But is there an anime for it? No. Has it been out for a very long time? Yes.
You see that's how I've been when I was reading a book of mine that I read in high school. Like, I read the book twice. And I want a movie of it, but they're never going to give us that.
That and the movie would ruin it. Most movies tend to ruin books. The Percy Jackson was fine, but it didn't adapt it very well. It was a fine movie, but when it comes to movie adaptations, it was terrible. Same goes with lots of movie adaptations. The Cirque du Freak one, terrible. Maximum Ride, also terrible. They always ruin the book.
Why? But why is that though? Like, why wouldn't it even?
Because they need to get the attention of the people who will pay for the movie. If they can't get their attention, they're not going to pay for the movie. And I don't mean the people buying the tickets. I mean the people who fund it to have it made. Sometimes the book alone is just not interesting enough. So they say things like, for example, with the Death Note movie, what if we left L made it so L was still Japanese, even though everyone else is in America and American? What if we did this or that? Why? Because they're trying to get the attention of the investors and the people who will make the movie happen. And sometimes the actors, to play the part in the movie, they'll be just like, I'll do it, but only if you do this as well. So more things get changed.
Were both of the My Hero movies even accurate?
The movies were fantastic, but they're not things that happened in the book. They're just fantastic movies. But every anime movie is not something that happened in the book. They just made a movie within the world.
But does it care?
Although, to be exact, the first movie they did connect it to the book by introducing Shield and his daughter in the book. So they did get a small chapter in the book where we learned a little bit about them. But the actual events of the movies did not happen in the manga.
Were the movies continuations of any episode in the anime, or were they like their own separate
No,
thing?
but they did leave. But with the first movie, they did leave hints at the movie by saying something about like, with All Might watching some news or whatever, so that said something about Shield. But basically, with the first My Hero movie, you know where it takes place in the story because they hinted at it in one of the actual episodes. The second movie, they did not. But regardless of how much they hinted or not hinted at it, they are not actual events that happened in the manga. They were stories that they created within the universe to connect to the manga.
That's crazy.
No, it's normal. Literally every anime movie is like that. As far as I can tell, like now I haven't read the Naruto manga, but I imagine it's the same as with every other anime movie. They've got like 3 movies, and none of the events will have happened in the manga. They might have connected them like they did with the first My Hero movie, but they did not actually happen.
I mean, like I hear that even like things are not even anime get turned into manga. Like Maximum. I think Maximum Ride is a manga.
Yes, they decided to make a comic. Why? What's wrong with that? A fan of the books was like, hey, you mind if I make a comic of your series? And they're just like, hell yeah.
I don't think it was even a comic. I think it was like a legit manga. I think.
Just because it looks like a manga does not mean it's a manga. It's a manga if it's Japanese or, since we're lazy, any other country. But since it was written in America, it's a comic. Now, the Cirque du Freak comic, that one is a manga because it was written in Japan because they have Japanese sound effects.
I mean, like, all your manga's in English, obviously, right? Because Japanese would be really hard to...
I do have some in Japanese.
How do you read it?
I don't.
Then what do you do with it?
It sits.
So you just put it on your shelf and let it sit in its...
Yes.
Yeah, but like, as we want to read it.
I'll learn Japanese.
I thought that's what you were doing because your whole thing you wanted to do.
I'm lazy as fuck.
Hey, you're not lazy. You're just thinking of ideas.
No, I'm lazy.
Oh, let me have my fun, okay? like let me have my fun with that.
I'm sorry. Fun is illegal.
Fun is illegal? What?
Fun is illegal.
What? Like, how's that even real?
Fun is illegal.
Anyway, but I feel like when it comes to manga, you know, the reason that it doesn't pull me in is
because you're lazy.
Not because I'm lazy, it's because
you're lazy. You're absolutely lazy.
No, if I'm lazy, how am I 6 episodes into My Hero already?
Because you should have been done with it by now. That's how you're lazy. I would have finished it by now.
I don't have the whole series on DVD. I only have season 1.
You don't need to watch it on DVD. That's what the internet's for.
I don't have a subscription to Crunchyroll or
You don't
Funimation.
need a subscription to watch things on Crunchyroll. I've told you this. It's free.
Yeah, but I don't like advertisements.
Then mute them.
Still, I just don't like the if there's like 6 advertisers
Deal
between.
with them. And there's only one at the beginning, a few in the middle, and a few after the opening, a few in the middle, and a few before the closing, or depending on the length after the closing.
Because is that My Hero's also on Hulu as well.
You can watch it there then. There aren't ads on Hulu.
There's 2 different versions. There's like the ad-free Hulu, and then there's the Hulu with ads. But anyway, I mean,
I've never heard of a Hulu with ads because I've been using Hulu for a while now and I've never gotten ads. Although I don't pay for it, so I don't really know how it works. All I know is that I don't get ads, and even if you do, suck it up and watch the damn show. You're being lazy by giving excuses, saying I don't like ads. Like that's just an excuse, dude. Watch the damn show.
well, I do have a website I can go on to and watch all the episodes without
Then
ads.
watch it.
Have you ever been to Kiss Anime before?
Yes, I have, dude. We've already talked about Kiss Anime. Just if you're gonna watch the show, watch the damn show. Stop making excuses.
I know. I mean, but
no excuses. Only watching.
Have you ever watched Digimon before?
Not really interested. It's not my thing. I'm more of a Pokemon kid.
Digimon's fantastic.
Eh.
It is.
Eh.
Uh-huh.
Eh.
Eh.
And Digimon, it doesn't matter to this right now because we're talking about anime and versus manga.
Yeah, well, I never read the Digimon manga
then
before.
You can't answer that question.
Well, let's see then. I think I've seen a little bit of the Beyblade manga, and the Beyblade manga is not as good as the show. I don't think. Because
well, it's hard to say if you don't remember.
I mean, I really think that that shows that get really popular over their mangas just shows how good they write the shows over them putting it in book form. And the book would only have been an outline.
I literally have no idea what you just said.
No, no. I feel like for shows like Sailor Hero Academia, Dragon Ball Z, Naruto, Zatch Bell, whatever. I think One Piece, whatever, all those shows. If the show is more popular than the freaking manga, and people are actually watching your anime over your manga, that just says that you did a fantastic job writing that manga.
People liking the manga is how it gets an anime. There needs to be a fan base for a manga for it to get an anime, which means yes, they did a good job writing the manga. But if you get it as big as like My Hero or Dragon Ball from the anime alone, that means sure your story is great, but it depends on also how accurate it is to the manga as well. Before you can say, "Wow, I did a good job writing it," if people enjoy the anime, because if it diverts off a lot, like for example, Black Butler or Full Metal Alchemist, where they got ahead of the manga, people really enjoy those, but in the originals or original Full Metal and just what we have of Black Butler, it's not a matter of how good they wrote the manga. Sure, they created the interesting characters, but they didn't write the story that they ended up ending with in the anime.
Is Attack on Titan the most highest selling manga right now because it's so freaking popular?
I wouldn't know. Attack on Titan is fantastic. We're almost at the end of the series, and whew, shit's going down.
I mean, like I would feel with Attack on Titan and how popular that anime is, I wouldn't be surprised if the manga is the most, not expensive, but the most highest selling thing out there right now in the world of manga.
I don't know. I just know that it's really good right now. I've been reading it online to keep up with the chapters because the newest manga that has the next chapters isn't out yet here.
I mean, like I don't know. I have very mixed thoughts about Attack on Titan.
Have you watched Attack on Titan?
Clips just to see if I'd be interested.
Okay, if you haven't actually watched it, you can't have mixed feelings. You can only have mixed feelings once you've actually seen it.
I mean,
It's impossible to form an opinion if you haven't actually seen it. Like, you can't say, I don't like it unless you've seen at least the first episode.
Is it just one big battle scene like what people say that?
No.
No.
It's a good, fantastically well-written show. It is an amazing masterpiece that has been slightly more underappreciated as of late because they took so long coming out with season 2. They lost like half of the anime fan base taking so long with season 2, so that was a little bit disappointing. So people haven't been hyping it as much as they would have if they had come out with it sooner, which I understand because it helped get more manga out before so that they'd have, more to animate. And now that they're animating the final season because the manga is about to end, it's just working out well.
Well, no. Well, I was doing while you're talking about that, I did a little bit of research, and Attack on Titan was the 8th most selling anime in 2020. I mean manga.
That's nice.
Manga. One Piece was second place. My Hero was 5th place. And Kimetsu no Yaiba was number 1.
That's Demon Slayer.
Yeah, so Demon Slayer was number 1 last year in sales.
Didn't you just say Attack on Titan was number 1 in sales? They can't both be number 1.
No. Attack on Titan was 8.
Oh.
Demon Slayer was 1. One Piece was 2nd. The Q.
You should really read it in order then.
Yeah, so Demon Slayer was number 1 in sales last year. One Piece was 2nd. 3rd was the Quintuplets, however you say that. Kingdom was number 4. My Hero Academia was number 5. The P Neverland was number 6.
The Promised Neverland.
Yeah, The Promised Neverland was number 6. Attack. How do you say that? Haiku.
Haiku.
Yeah, that was number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That was 7. Yeah, Attack on Titan was 8. Hanako-kun was number 8.
Okay, you don't need to keep reading them, dude.
And while I'm on the last one, the last one was Spy X Family, and that was the last one. So yeah, that's the most high selling mangas of last year.
That's nice.
So I think that says something about how good the writing is.
It is very good writing. I just told you that.
Is Demon Slayer really that good in manga form?
I haven't actually read Demon Slayer, but it is a very good show.
So, see, that's
Season 2 is coming out this year, and we were talking about Attack on Titan, dude.
Oh, yeah, I know, but like, it just popped up, okay? But no, Attack on Titan. God, I'm gonna watch it. I'm just not gonna watch it right now because it is on top of my list.
You're not watching anything. You can't go through your list unless you actually watch the stuff on your list.
I do have a list. You want to hear my list?
No, I don't want to hear your list. What I'm saying is you can't watch the stuff on your list if you're not, get to the stuff on your list if you're not watching the stuff on your list. Because you keep making excuses.
I don't make excuses.
You literally said you don't like ads, and that's why you won't watch them. You can mute ads. You can look away from ads. You could text while the ads play. There's a million things you could be doing while the ads play.
Well, I find ways, okay, to get around the ads. And that's what Kiss Anime's for. I could watch it right now if I wanted to, but I'm not gonna. I can read the manga at the same time if you want me to.
You can do that, yes. That is a thing that you can do.
But why would I do that if I'm trying to watch a show and read a book at the same time?
You can do both.
Do you do that?
Obviously, don't be reading while the anime is actually playing, but you can do both. You can read a few chapters of manga, then watch a few episodes.
I know that I think on Crunchyroll or Funimation, one of the two, you could actually read manga online for them.
Yes, you can, dude. Obviously, you can.
Is that how you read half of your manga when you're too lazy to go get the book? Yes.
How else do you think I read my manga? I can't own all of it in here.
I wouldn't be surprised if one day you do, but that's just me. I'm sure one day when you get your own house or whatever, you're gonna make a whole section. And
Obviously.
Nothing but manga. and you're gonna read it all, and it's just gonna be this.
This isn't on topic, dude.
Yeah, it was. We're talking about manga versus the anime.
No, you're talking about me having manga in my house in the future.
Well, I mean, so basically to get out the Attack on Titan thing, I really think that Attack on Titan, from what I heard about it, is pretty much good. The show is really good because I don't really hear people talk about the manga really much. I hear them talk about the show.
We literally did an entire episode where I just ranted about the manga, dude.
What?
We literally did an entire episode where I ranted about the manga.
We did?
Yes!
I don't remember.
And Welcome to Demon School, Iruma-kun. I ranted about both of them, but mostly Attack on Titan.
I mean, is Welcome to Demon School at Rumicon a good manga, or is the show
It is
better?
A fantastic manga.
I mean, what makes it better than the show?
I never said that. It's just a fantastic manga, and the show is fantastic too. I've yet to see any inaccuracies. They only have one season so far, and we're getting another season this year.
Is there a point in the show where they're introducing a character and
what?
Did they introduce a character in the show that they had introduced it in the
everything
manga?
Gets introduced and everything is exactly the same as in the manga.
Then that means they're doing a good job on accuracy. Unlike Dragon Ball, unlike Attack on Titan.
No, not unlike Attack on Titan. Attack on Titan is incredibly accurate.
I'm pretty sure there's some flaws. They found some loopholes and made some little flaws, but I mean,
Attack on Titan is incredibly accurate. Sure, there may be minor differences, but that's because they can't fit everything. So they might have skipped over a few small interactions that weren't important, but that's what happens with every anime. Literally.
It makes me wonder how good the Zatch Bell manga was. I mean, because the show was fantastic.
The what manga?
The Zatch Bell manga.
I don't know what that is.
It must have been good because the show was really good.
I still don't know what that is.
Well, for someone who likes to watch 5 animes at a time on one screen, I'm surprised you haven't watched it.
There's a lot of animes to watch, and I don't watch them at the same time. I watch them at the same time. Like, not like I'm watching multiple episodes at the same time. I mean, I switch back and forth between different animes.
So, like, you watch, 4 episodes of one and 4 of another?
I don't know about 4, but basically.
How do you keep in line of where, how do you keep up with everything at that point?
I just do. But it's very easy for me.
Yeah, because for me, I'm still watching Magi. Magi's good so far. I haven't read it, but I haven't read the book. But the anime is really good. And
I wish they'd animate more. They stopped halfway through Sinbad.
Sinbad. I haven't even watched Sinbad yet. I mean, because
It's good.
no, because all my friends told me you gotta watch the Adventures of Sinbad first, so you see what's going on. While I decided to be a rebel and watch
No,
Moggy
you
first.
watched Sinbad last. That's the order it came out in.
I thought
You watched things in the order they came out in because they were put out in that order for a fucking reason.
well, wasn't Sinbad supposed to be the origin story of Sinbad himself?
Yes.
So isn't Moggy based? But in Moggy, he's already Sinbad, the almighty prince.
Yes.
So does that mean you're supposed to watch Sinbad before Moggy?
No! That's not how backstories work.
Which I don't understand why they decided to make a whole story on just him. Like,
Because he's amazing and fantastic and really cool. Like, who wouldn't want to learn more about this guy? He's incredibly interesting and he's got an incredibly interesting crew as well, and you get to learn more about them as well.
me? No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'll watch it.
After Moggy.
I mean, I like. Maybe there's some parts of Moggy I don't agree with, but a lot of
What's
it I
not
do.
to agree with? It's really good.
Maybe I'm not big. Maybe I'm not the biggest fan of Aladdin being just a perv half the time, but that's just me.
Some characters are just like that.
But like,
And it's not Aladdin, it's Alibaba.
no, Alibaba is the blonde haired kid. Aladdin's the little blue kid, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, Aladdin's the one that's the little perv in the show.
Aladdin's not really a perv, dude.
Have you seen Moggy before?
Yes, I have. Aladdin's the perv. Sorry, Alibaba's the perv, not Aladdin.
Then why is Aladdin?
Aladdin's a child.
Then why in the last episode I watched Moggy, he is doing he's doing some really interesting things.
No, he's not. Compared to Alibaba, he's not a perv. I mean, Alibaba literally goes to whatever those things are called, where what are they called? He pays money to hang out with ladies. Literally, Alibaba literally pays money to hang out with ladies. Although he always gets bad luck. He gets the goofy looking ones.
The goofy looking ones.
They're very muscular.
Oh no.
He literally does that in like the first episode, dude.
No, out of all the characters in that show, which one can you relate with though? Just asking.
I don't know, it's been a while.
It's
I don't relate with characters. I just simp for them.
simp. You're simping the simps.
Yes.
But I'm pretty sure the manga is fantastic. If it even has one.
It does have manga. The manga came first.
I'm pretty sure it's amazing. I mean, I'm not going to doubt it because the show is really good. But
You can't really comment if you haven't read the manga. I've read some of it. It was a long time ago though, so I don't really remember.
But if you had a choice, blindfolded, to either watch the anime for the rest of your life or read the manga for the rest, or to read manga for the rest of your life or watch anime for the rest of your life, which one would you rather do?
Manga, because there's more manga, obviously. As much as I like anime, there's not as much of it compared to manga.
So you rather read manga for the rest of your life over
Yes, because there's more of it. I'd get even more stories.
Does it? But even though manga, as fantastic as it is, for me, I mean, yes, I like books with pictures. I love that, but
I'd run out of anime before I run out of manga.
well, the thing I want to bring up is that when I read books that don't have any pictures in it and I can't see what the characters look like, then it opens up my imagination more to what these characters could look like. I'm sure that's a regular thing that happens and that's normal.
Both are fine. I read lots of normal books too.
Yeah, but do you like the concept of not knowing what these characters look like, so you can make them up in your head?
Sometimes I like knowing better because they don't really describe the characters and I don't really know how to imagine them. And for example, they'll leave out important details like facial hair and it just ruins my mental image when they finally mention the facial hair.
So you like how so you like to know what they look like, so you don't.
Yes.
So you have a concept, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
I'm fine at imagining things as long as they describe them properly. I mean, what kind of idiot leaves out mentioning that they they have a beard until like 30 or 60 pages in? Like seriously, like in my opinion that's like the first thing you mention because literally facial hair is like half the face. Like you forget to add it and then when you finally do, like the image completely changes because facial hair just is such drastic change to the face.
yeah, because for me, in a book that I read, for example, that what we're talking about, there's this book I literally read called Winter Girls. I read it twice. I love the book because it's amazing, but but the main character, her name is Laya, and her last name's Overbrook, and like they don't really describe in the book how she looks, or I forget, or they say where she's from, but I forget. I think it's like Baltimore or whatever. But
It's hard to imagine what someone looks like if they don't describe it.
well then that's where my imagination kicks in. I think she looks like a emo slash goth who wears beanies and colored hair, and punk t-shirts and camo jeans and all that stuff, and just like it's like a badass that's trying to live the rest of her life, after a tragedy that I'm not going to say because I don't want to ruin the book.
I mean, potentially she could just look, as one could put it, although obviously being all punk is normal too, but she might just look normal. Like maybe she has long brown, like maybe she looks like an MC in a dating sim. Long brown hair, stereotypical features. For all you know, that's what she could look like. That's why they need to properly describe the characters, otherwise your imagination will get too far out of control. Because sure, it's good to use the imagination. I mean, that's how writing works. But if you don't describe the characters, someone could be one person could imagine a very buff man, the other one could be imagining a very scrawny guy in glasses.
You see, because in the book they don't really describe how if she's lenient, a little chubby, like like they don't say anything about that. Like they just say her name, where she's from, and in the story.
And that's terrible character development if you ask me, because we need to know what a character looks like. Like even if they just said she has brown hair, that I could work with that. Brown hair, blue eyes, that's workable. Is it long brown hair, short brown hair? That maybe mention that too. That is a workable description. But you can't just say nothing about what they look like.
Or maybe they do, and I just forgot because I haven't read the book in quite some time. But I love the book, but I just haven't read it in a long time. I mean, because if I read a manga and I see Naruto, I can be like, yeah, that's Naruto. Or if I read My Hero, I can be like, oh, that's Deku. So, and so on and so forth. And I don't know L because I haven't read or watched Attack on Titan, so I don't know what L looks like, but I can. But if I read it, I can, and they say L, I'll be, oh yeah, that's L. Because L's Levi, right?
L is Death Note.
Oh, I thought that was Attack on Titan.
No.
No, Death Note. I heard a lot of things about, and I even have a story about Death Note, which involves me, and it's crazy.
How could you have a Death Note story if you haven't watched it or seen it?
No. Now listen. No, it involves me in Death Note, but
you can't write a story if you haven't seen the content it's based on.
No. Yeah, I know. But
you can come up with ideas, but you can't actually write it until you know what you're basing it on. Yes, I'll base it on this thing I have never seen before. That'll go well.
No. What I'm saying is that I someone I used to go to school with had the Death Note thing. It's it's basically like a notebook, but it looks like the
Yeah,
Death Note.
and
I no I me being me, I was being me being me back then was stupid and be like, oh yeah, if I take it away from him and I rip the page out with my name on it, like that would be amazing.
that's not how a Death Note works.
But I was young and stupid, and so I took the book away from him and I ripped the page out with my name on it, and he gets pissed. You can
Of
tell.
course he would. You just ripped a page out of his notebook. That thing was probably expensive because it's an anime based thing.
Yeah,
I'd get pissed too.
yeah, but that was back then when I was young and stupid. And I didn't know better. Like I thought it was legit. Like I thought like what happened in the anime happened in real life. So I was like,
That's stupid. Animes are always fictional.
have they ever made an anime with a manga that's something based off something in real life?
That would just be a book.
Oh, isn't Magi sort of like that?
No!
I thought you said the
We
story.
already had this discussion. Everything that happens in manga is based on the 1001 Arabian Nights, which is a story. We already had this conversation.
I know, but technically,
Sinbad is not real.
I know, yeah, I know, but technically, the thing that they're basing it on that
It's
is
based
real.
on an actual collection of stories actually told by someone.
Yeah,
That does not make it real. It just means that someone actually told the stories. That means the person telling the stories is an actual person, but that's it.
So, but when no, but yeah, I know that. But but the anime is based off real books, so that means
Yeah,
so that
plenty of things. I mean, there's a lots of animes containing angels and angels and demons are based off of the Bible.
I know. So that means that some animes,
No, because the Bible is a giant fiction book written by a collection of fiction is just a giant fiction anthology written by many people over hundreds of years.
well, I mean, I like it. I like anime. Certain animes. I mean,
Just because the person who told the story is real does not mean the stories are in that sense real, is what I'm getting at here.
I'm, I mean, I'm probably gonna not watch Attack on Titan next. After I'm done with My Hero, I'll probably get around to watching like Beyblade or something or I'm watching a lot of shows right now. Like you wouldn't understand. Like I'm still in the middle of Voltron. I'm still in the middle of Magi. I'm in the middle of My
I'm
Hero.
in the middle of more shows than you are, I guarantee.
How do you keep up with all of it though?
Because I remember.
You write down.
No, I remember.
Like what shows are you in the middle of right now?
I'm in the middle of finishing season 2 of Idler 7, which is going to be getting a new season this year. Although I guess I'm in the middle of watching the new Attack on Titan season because it's currently coming out. I think they finished A3, so I'm no longer in the middle of that. I'm in the middle of watching Bungo Stray Dogs, and I'm also in the middle of finishing Food Wars. I'm watching Hilda on Netflix because a new season came out. I'm also finishing Code Lyoko. I am.
Code Lyoko's not anime.
It's an anime. It's French. Anything that's not American is an anime. I mean, Hilda's not an anime either. I'm counting cartoons, dude. Anime is cartoons. Therefore, Code Lyoko is an anime. Literally, anime translates to cartoons in Japan. Like not like literally, but that's what they call cartoons. I mean, we call cartoons here, and they call cartoons anime there. And I'm also watching the new Pokemon's Journey season. I am watching. Well, I'm suspiciously watching Super Lovers because it's a bit weird. And not like weird as in like weird. I mean, it's like weird as in like the relationship. The main relationship is a bit questionable. I'm in the middle of watching Nura Rise of the Yokai Clan. I'm in the middle of watching. Um, Technically, I started B Project, but I'm probably going to have to restart because it's been a while. I am in the middle of watching.
That's a lot. How do you keep up with all this?
I'm watching more actually, but I remember. That's how I keep up. I remember.
That's a lot to remember.
It's not that hard to remember.
I mean, like,
to me, it's like, I mean, it's basically I've replaced all of the useless information I learned in school with this.
yeah, because yeah, because I mean, like, because for me, I mean, like, I like the only way I remember all the stuff I'm watching is because I can physically look at it and be like, oh, that's where I am. I gotta finish that. Um, I gotta finish that. I gotta start watching
Oh,
that.
I still need to finish Yona, Rise of Yona too.
Yeah, but when are you gonna watch Beyblade? When are you gonna watch Metabots?
I'm not interested in Beyblade. I already said that.
Come on, Metabots.
I don't even know what that is.
You gotta watch it. It's good.
I don't know. If I don't know what it is, I can't agree or disagree. All I know is that it sounds like it's a lot like Beyblade or Digimon, which I'm not particularly interested in. I tried watching Digimon once, but it was incredibly boring.
A lot of people say that Digimon is a lot better anime-wise than Pokemon was. That's what people say.
I like Pokemon better.
Anime-wise?
Both.
Well, I mean, Pokemon's famous because A, because people love the anime, and B, mainly because of the game. The game really was...
No, people just like Pokemon.
Have you read...
Pokemon's a good game and a good show. People just like it because they can easily tell that it's good.
Have you read Pokemon 2?
A little bit. I read some of the Sinnoh one because it was at the library, and I read like a few books of one of the Poke Mystery Dungeon ones.
Is it as good as the show, or is it...
They're good, but they're not the same as the show because they're different stories.
You see, and that's what
they also have ones based on the show, but I'm not a big fan of those because I'd rather just, if I'm gonna watch Ash, I'd rather just watch the show. I'd rather have different stories, read the other stories because they're new characters, and we get to see more of the actual bad guys. Like in the Sinnoh one, we actually got to see some galactic members and have some funny galactic bad guys.
Like, does your emo, is your favorite emo child from Pokemon show up a lot more in the manga than he does in the show?
I don't know. I haven't read that one. He shows up a lot in the game, so I enjoy him there.
I mean, like, I think Pokemon...
I haven't finished that bit section of anime either, so I don't know yet.
I think when it comes to anime, I think Pokemon's always going to have the throne because Pokemon has been around for frickin' forever.
Yeah, but it's also just really popular. And most people don't consider it an anime either just because of how Americanized it's been here, because they completely changed the openings and closings and whatnot as well.
Yeah, it isn't that classic theme that we all get grown up to love.
No, what I mean is that they literally changed the openings and closings. Like, the ones they have in Japan are not the same ones we have here.
Oh yeah, I mean they got to have that they got to differentiate the what am I trying to say? They got to change from America somehow so they're not completely the same.
They do, but they don't change it in normal anime.
Well, yeah, because like for Attack on Titan, I mean like that Attack on Titan hasn't been around long enough to be Americanized like Pokemon was.
Attack on Titan. It doesn't matter how long it's been around. It's a matter of popularity and being Americanized. Well, I mean, Sailor Moon has been around longer than Pokemon, I'm pretty sure, and it didn't get Americanized. Like, well, it did a little bit actually. Well, they did translate the theme song, but that's just because it's Sailor Moon.
Well, yeah, I mean, but I'm pretty sure in a few years that's going to happen to My Hero Academia.
No, it's not. It's a matter of they do it from the beginning. Like, in the first place, when they started showing Pokemon here, like with the very first Pokemon cartoon, they gave us the Gotta Catch 'em All opening, which is a different opening from the Japanese one. Like, the animation is even different. From the very beginning, they did that with Pokemon, regardless of how popular the show actually was. They wouldn't just change it later on. They did it from the very beginning.
Not even like later seasons from the very.
No, that's not how Americanization works.
Well, I mean, I don't think America. I don't think as of like 2021, when it comes to Americanization to anime, does that even exist anymore? Because like anime is not just anime now.
Anime is still just anime now. It's anime is anime.
Like there's no really Americanization of it. Everyone knows that
they still do Pokemon. Pokemon is still being Americanized, and you could say technically Digimon is as well, and probably Beyblade, since those are Japanese.
Well, I mean, like I never seen the Japanese version of Beyblade, so I can't tell you. Well, the difference.
Then you should probably take a look.
Probably should. But for right now, we're an hour in. We're at our hour mark. And today has been a very interesting episode. For episode 24 of In the Serpents Pit with Serpents Breakdown. I want to thank everyone for joining us in for this first year, because this first year was amazing and awesome. So much more to come, and I can't wait. Next week, I don't know what we're going to be talking about. Not next week. Next month, I don't know what we're going to be talking about. It's going to be awesome, though. You can find me on Twitter at NostalgiaRant. Follow me on Facebook at CyberTimeBite. Buy all my merchandise at Redbubble.com under Crash Steven Gear. You can find Serpents Breakdown at Serpents Breakdown and Serpents Breakdown 21. Buy all.
I also have merch, but it's just anime shit.
Yeah, go buy all Serpents merch at Fnac 21 on Redbubble.
Because I cannot change that horrendous name.
But if you buy Serpents merch, and if you buy,
I'll have money again.
Yeah, Serpent will have money again, and if you buy my merch at the same time, that would be amazing, and we will thank you to the high heavens. But and whatever else more. So yeah, I want to thank everyone for joining in on this episode. And do you want to do an outro?
No, not really.
Well done. That's that then. We'll see you all next month, and I hope all of you have a fantastic day. Have a good one.